she wanted to do everything right. She wanted to raise me as like this saintly man, and like, so she was doing everything within her power to do things to the T, just like Yogi Bhajan said. And so, that meant doing banis every day and doing meditations for 2.5 hours. I mean, I remember doing, 2.5 hours at Korea for like, months. And and then of course the India. Yeah. So like it was definitely something that she wanted for me. And I remember it being really hard for her, like the first couple of years that I was there, like, just sending me off. And also like, I remember, definitely being homesick my first year, and the first couple of years definitely being pretty homesick.
Yeah, quite a cultural shock. So anyway, so keep going. You get on the plane, you're with an older brother of the Dharma who had been there for a while, but you're much younger than him.
Yeah. So, so like, that plane flight, I remember really well because I was really excited about it. And I remember meeting up with everyone, and I don't remember which direction we went that year. We would usually stop in either, at least when I was going to MPA, we would usually stop in either Singapore or we'd stop in like Frankfurt and go through the Europe way. And anyways, I remember getting to Delhi, and it was really like just crowded. Indira Gandhi International Airport, there was like water dripping from the ceiling and like on the customs papers, and everyone's shouting, and then you walk outside and it's just really hot and sticky, and then we all loaded up on this big bus and took a 10-hour bus ride to Amritsar, and then we got settled in the building, and I honestly don't remember a lot from that first year of like really specific details about logistics and how things work, because like that was the year that I got like really bullied. Like it was like one of the worst years of my life. I don't know, I guess I could just jump into that. But yeah, so basically, like I was coming from Alaska, I was a really shy kid. I think by nature I'm just more like a reserved person, by nature anyways. But coming to a culture of kids that mostly know each other, that are from different communities that are big in lower 48, Mexico, whatever, Germany. I was kind of an outcast, so like I didn't know anyone there. Like, and to top that off, I was kind of shy and I didn't know how to deal with people. So, so I got made fun of when I would get really reactional. Like I would get really angry, like when people would call me names, and so then they wanted to make fun of me more and more. And so so they made up a nickname for me, and they called me like Dave Dumbass, and then they made up a song about me. And they would sing it on the bus after we went to the Golden Temple for 40-day seva. It was, for me, it was 40 days of being called names when I got on the bus every time. So yeah, I would just like, I remember just being like, kind of dreading it, like, oh boy, here we go. Got to get on the bus now and hear my name, and hear the song about me. And so, yeah, it kind of made me feel like shit. And
after service and seva at the Golden Temple, then for 40 days, you became a part of this ritual of the ritual song of making fun of you.
And
this song.
Basically. Yeah. And I mean, I want to give credit though. I do want to give credit that like everyone that called me names has issued me apologies personally by direct message. And, it's been really meaningful to me to, that people cared enough to say something about it, because, that made a big difference for me. So, I think it's really important for anyone that, that did name calling or, anything like that to say something, even if you don't think it's going to make a difference, because I think it does for people.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely breaks up the scar tissue. And are you saying they reached out and apologized since the revelations have come out, like this past year in 2020, or even before then, before all this broke open?
Yeah, like a few. One person issued me an apology years ago, a couple of years ago, and I think something really significant happened in his life that made him think about it, and so I think he felt the urge to do that because of that life change. And then yeah, more recently, since the revelations have come out, like everyone else has made that apology. So and one of them happened because of those calls too, the calls that
The listening calls.
Yeah, the listening calls.
Mhm.
So those are also helpful,
Yeah.
I think, for people.
And I want to just point out that this is just a really important element you're sharing, in that when we have when there's a long-term culture of abuse, one can be a victim and then also become a predator. And it's a very hard thing to unpack this scar tissue, or to start even wanting to examine it, when we know we both were a predator and we got preyed on earlier. So if I start to admit this, I have to go here. And it's just such a beautiful point, in that the fact that there are people that have reached out is meaning they're letting themselves crack open to feel their part. And then below that are more layers that they're opening themselves up to. So I just want to say, all of you listening that have been preyed on and became predators and don't even know whether speaking out against some of the people you've hurt would even make a difference. It does. It makes a huge difference, both in our own energetics as well as for the person. And it opens up scar tissue and opens up a wound that got tissued over versus actually disinfected properly.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good putting it. So yeah, so that was kind of my first year in a nutshell. Was just basically like I just remember a lot of like feelings of I would always get picked on, and then I would go and find a corner and just hide from everyone because I didn't really want to be there.